Hey you guys, let me get in the background and make sure everything, because everything wasn't set up the way that it needed to be because I'm only using StreamYard to simulcast. Y'all know I don't really like StreamYard at all. We're just Patreon only for right now. We will go to YouTube because I do want to talk to y'all about and my computer, I need to find some, I gotta open up some tabs on my computer because let me see something. I had a bunch of tabs on here and somehow they came out, and I need to pull this story that I told y'all we was gonna go over because we about to go over it now actually. So let me see that. Okay, did it come out? Yeah, this is it. Okay. Yeah, because this story is in here that I want y'all to hear about. So let me get this speaker acting right. Or I'll just use my my external speaker. Last time I did the internal speaker, but I don't know. Maybe we'll do it. Will we do it? Okay, well, maybe we can. I don't know. Let's see.
USB mode.
Okay, we can do it. So we'll do that. Let me go. Sorry, y'all. I got to go back to the chat box, but I'll pull this one out and then minimize this, and then we'll do it like this to be like a third. And then I can still see y'all. And I'll put y'all on my tablet too because I want to be able to see y'all on my tablet. I'm going to get on camera in a minute. We won't go on, we're not going to go live on YouTube probably until, well, for me, it'll be 1 o'clock. So that'll give us an hour. Either 1 o'clock or when we just finish going over this story, because it's just this one thing. And then I think, I'm going to talk about the Diddy documentary because I finished watching it and I just have, there's just too much that needs to be hashed out with this Diddy documentary. So we're going to talk about that, and then I want to have a discussion on blackmail protection as well, because that's part of that was a theme in this documentary. But I definitely want to talk about the documentary. Like the documentary just has to be spoken about. You say, is it just me or is this documentary boring? Am I only on episode 2? It's hard to focus on things involving Javante. I don't know who Javante is. I wasn't sitting there memorizing names of people. The documentary, any documentary, they're just people talking. I don't know what we expect from documentaries. Documentaries are like literally just people kind of like talking and giving out a bunch of information. So I don't know how entertaining it's supposed to be. I found it to be very interesting and insightful myself. If y'all want to know my opinion of it, I thought it was very interesting. The information in it was very interesting to me. I actually wrote down some specific points that stood out the most to me. Like, really, even if this, because I didn't see this documentary as something for entertainment, I seen it as an expose. And so to me, the fact that I saw it as an expose, that right there is why I feel like it didn't matter if it was interesting or not. You said you're pretty sure Javante is part of Jodeci. Yeah, but they didn't spend an extensive amount of time on Jodeci. So, I mean, I just... One of the things that I actually liked in here is that most of the focus was actually on Diddy. That's one of the things that I would applaud 50 Cent for, is that he kept the focus of the documentary where it needed to be. That was one of the things that I actually liked about it. So, but we'll get into it. We'll absolutely get into it because there was a lot to get into. I do want y'all's opinion on it, so definitely... if you want to come up, I could drop the link if you got some stuff to say about it, or if you just want to hear me talk about it, that's fine. Like I said, I did jot down some notes The documentary just confirmed everything I thought about that Diddy, literally a demon. And that's basically where it's at. That's basically where it's at. If you came to the conclusion that Diddy is a demon, then you absolutely watched it. You saw what needed to be seen. Y'all, let me tell y'all something. Do y'all remember? Because I'm going to show y'all the actual video too. Because 50 Cent did a lot of different interviews. There's a lot of people who don't like the documentary. Ja Rule came out and spoke. We already know Dame Dash came out and spoke. I now know why Dame Dash is saying 50 think he's the FBI. The reason being is because 50 came out with more evidence on Diddy than the FBI did. That's why. It's because Diddy had more receipts than the FBI. I'm over here. My first takeaway is, why ain't this man being charged for Tupac and Biggie's murders? That's what I want to know. I want to know why this man ain't been arrested yet, particularly for Tupac and Biggie's death. Because the one thing that I do know is that the government can convict on circumstantial evidence. They absolutely can. They absolutely can and have convicted on circumstantial evidence. And what circumstantial evidence is, it is the overwhelming amount of evidence that was presented against Diddy. The overwhelming amount of circumstantial evidence that was against Diddy. Like, I don't understand. I genuinely don't understand it. I'm telling y'all that now. Like, I genuinely do not understand why this man ain't been arrested. Like, for either, mind you, I don't understand why he hasn't been arrested for either of the investigation, because there was multiple investigations that took part. Hold on for a second. I need to change. I know I was going to turn out the light. I knew it was. Hold on, because my light came out, and I don't know how this light is affected by the other. Like, how are you're not even, like, y'all, maybe it is this one. I'm gonna have to use something different for this, though. Okay, here we go. And I'm gonna have to open this window a little bit, too, because I need some air to come in here. It's hot. Okay. Or I'm feeling hot. Okay, now I got my stuff back together. My camera, though, still looks... It still looks grainy, though. Yeah, I feel like it's grainy. Or blurry. And that means I need to wipe off my camera lens, and I'm about to. So give me one second, then we go get into this. Just give me 1 second. I'm gonna go grab something and go ahead and wipe off my lens. Just give me 1 sec. Okay, so we gonna get started. I'm gonna come back on camera, but we're gonna get started anyway because we need to, because we have stuff to do. But y'all, did y'all see this story of this bandit here? Let me go ahead and grab this camera share and show y'all. I don't know if y'all saw this story here. Did y'all see this story? Let me go in here and get this link so I can watch the chat box to see if y'all by any chance did y'all by any chance see this story? Okay, hold on, I gotta switch accounts. Okay. All right. You're about to lose your 2% spot. I don't understand. Here's how I made it to the top 2%. Oh. Anyway, let me just, this was for something stupid. Okay. Maxita said, oh, Maxita, why weren't you a mod? Yeah, let's add you as a mod. Okay. We'll go ahead and add you as a mod. Okay. So there lovely baby didn't make you a mod either. Okay, we'll do a mod. Her lovely being Maxita. LH has always been a mod, and she will continue to be. So hold on. Okay. So this is a bandit who apparently killed his family. He was cheating on his wife. We know these males don't care nothing about no marriage. We know the women do. We know women pretend to be in good marriages that they're not in. So we not even go over that, because these men don't care nothing about these marriages. And I think it's quite obvious that they don't care anything about these marriages. It's just these foolish women continue to get into marriages with these males, and then they end up learning the hard way, because males are going to be who they are, basically. So that's what you have here. You have a situation where, I mean, women just, I don't get it. Most of the time I don't really understand it with women in marriage. Anyway, we won't get into women in marriage. I just don't understand why women are still marrying men. I don't get it. This is going back to that old stereotype of the Jezebel decided to tempt the honorable, upstanding husband, and then he fell into her Jezebelian temptation. Women have bought into this too. But it says, killer dad blames his mistress for murdering his wife and children. I have always taken full responsibility, even though I was misled by a wicked woman, he claims in disturbing prison letters. The reason why he's saying this is because he knows this works. He understands that as a part of a Christian nation, as a part of Christianity, women have been consistently blamed for the actions of men, and we know that women have been blamed consistently for the actions of men, and it's still happening. If this man is saying he was misled by a wicked woman as a leader of said wicked woman, because remember, these males said they're the leaders. They're the default leaders. They're the divine leaders. They're the leaders that God has ordained to be the leader of everything on the planet. Planet is in total destruction and chaos. Humanity is on its way to dying out, but we still, for some reason, as a country, think males are the best for leadership when we have constant, like males literally have the highest self-aliving rate, and they've been in control. Right. If men can be tempted to evil acts by women in skirts, then why is society still swearing up and down that they are leaders? Because as women, we allow this to happen, and we don't throw this back into their face because we're too busy sheltering the feelings of males, and you can't challenge what they do and shelter their feelings at the same time. Maxita said, if you go to Nancy Grace's channel when you have time, when you have the chance of your own time, there's the woman who did an interview with this man, and she reveals the details of what he did to his wife and kids. I'll definitely do that. Ashley said, if women can tempt men, then we have more power. Right. Crochet, oh, you were talking about Crochet Queen, Florida Bella, so it's fine. This man is beyond delusional. It just is what it is. Look, I'm not the person who committed those horrible acts. 2 Corinthians 5:17 says, if any man be in Christ, he is a new creature. All things are passed away. Behold, all things become new. That's me. I'm a new creature. And this is why disgusting, depraved, murderous people are attracted to Christianity. This is why they're attracted to it. There's no standard of conduct in Christianity. The only requirement in Christianity is that you believe in this male God and this male God only. That's literally like the only criteria for Christianity. There's no criteria where it says you were just too evil in your past life to be considered a true Christian. That's not a thing. Serial killers, rapists, murderers, by simply believing in a male God, they can apparently be seen as washed anew in Christianity. This is one of the reasons why I don't deal with why I left Christianity. Look, she was a harlot, a Jezebel who led me astray. Why did we know Jezebel was going to rear his head? Why did we know that the Jezebelian stereotype levied against women was going to rear its head here? Because it's only used against women again. Women's acceptance of this religion, I don't understand it. I don't understand the mind frame of women who are attracted to Christianity unless they are ready to acknowledge. Oh my God, I'm like so tired of dealing with it. Hold on, y'all. I gotta go get something for these lights. The lights are just acting stupid. Hold on, I'll be right back. I gotta go get something. This is irritating me. Okay, y'all, let me just get these lights situated. My ring lights, because I have a new thing. So just give me 1 second and I'll get this handle out. Because this continuation of this is really pissing me off. Like, it's just... Okay, let me see if I got it now. Okay. All right, now I think I actually got it figured out. So let me turn them back on. Okay, there's our mode. Okay, there we go. All right. Okay. Now, we already know this whole Jezebelian stereotype is literally only levied against women. So we're not going to sit here and act like there's any scenario where it's not. The Jezebel stereotype has been levied against women, and it's been levied against women since the Jezebelian stereotype came out. So when we hear about this whole Jezebel, when a woman is being called a Jezebel, it's a religion. Yeah, men are never called Jezebels, although they are the biggest ones. But there's another story that we want to go over too. The males are literally, hands down, the only Jezebels on the face of the planet. The only ones. There is no one else at all that exists on this planet that is a bigger Jezebel than men. Men pride themselves on being Jezebels, but one of their benefits in society is that they never have to be called a Jezebel. They never actually get called a Jezebel at all. There's never a situation when a promiscuous Jezebelian man is acting from a Jezebel spirit, there's no scenario where he's actually labeled accordingly. But I want to show something else too, because y'all, finally, this woman here, this hood right here, she... I can't stand 50. We gonna get into 50 in a minute. We about to get into 50. Just hold on. We about to get to you in a minute. Y'all know I can't stand a hood rat. And finally, the hood rat in this situation, she was arrested in the Romika Meek situation. Finally, She was arrested and charged with the murder of Romika Meeks. Let's listen to this news clip here.
The first-degree murder charges in today's hearing mark a step towards justice for the family of 31-year-old Romika Meeks Blackman, who was studying to become a nurse before she was fatally shot in September. On Wednesday afternoon, Chicago police arrested 31-year-old Des Plaines resident Quadacia Johnson in connection to Blackman's murder. On September 8th, Blackman died after she was shot at the intersection of Cermak Road and State Street. She had just dropped her 6-year-old son off at school. Right before her death, police say a fight broke out between Johnson and Blackman. Sources say the two women knew each other. Initially, right after the shooting, Johnson was arrested and released without charges. Johnson is expected to appear in court again on December 24th. Reporting from 26th in California, I'm Jewel Hillary, WGN News.
Do y'all know how ghetto and ridiculous and unavoidable this was? So now you essentially have yet another case, because this is what it boils down to. Yet another case of two women losing their lives over black male worship. This is what you got. You got two black women who have now, because this woman is on a first-degree murder charge. I don't see how she go beat the first-degree murder charge. Fine. If anybody think that we'll watch it. We'll watch it. I don't see how she gonna beat it. I'm telling you right now, I don't see how she's going to beat a first-degree murder charge, because based on what first-degree murder is, it looked like it was first-degree murder. What'd you bring the gun for, ma'am? What did you bring the gun to the child's school for, ma'am, if you did not intend to murder this woman, ma'am? Because that's just what I would like to know. And hopefully that can get flushed out in court, why this lady brought a gun. I know, I'm going to need the baby daddy to face some charges too. I'm going to need the baby daddy to be facing some charges. I do need him too. But what's probably going to happen is he probably going to take a deal and he probably going to throw her under the bus. Y'all remember back in September when we reported on 31-year-old monster mother Romika Meeks, I don't know why I saw that as monster, Blackman, who was fatally shot right out her son's school in Chicago after a reported altercation with her child's father's other baby mama at the time. Many believe the shooter might walk away after she was initially detained and quickly released without charges. Well, that has changed. The reason why, first of all, can we talk about a hood rat who has her infant child in a car with her while she's going to engage in an altercation with another woman? They're saying that this chick is an Aries. I'm going to need Aries to get off the hood rat juice. Like, I'm going to need Aries to get off the hood rat juice. Why wouldn't you take your baby to the damn house and have somebody watch your baby? Why would you have your baby in a car with you as you go to toe tag, or even, here's my thing. Do I think she went out with the mindset to toe tag somebody? Yeah, ma'am, because you brought a gun. You shot her multiple times. There is no self-defense when you shoot somebody multiple times. There isn't. Once, if you shoot that person over one time, it becomes a situation where self-defense has now turned into attempted murder or murder. That's what happened. Why'd you fire your gun more than one time, ma'am? Yeah, Aries are the type who have to, they're not smart enough to learn from others' mistakes or take advice. And the reason why I'm saying they're not smart enough to, because this is directly related to intellectual ability. If you cannot learn from other people's mistakes, if you have to experience something, that's a learning deficit. That's a learning deficit. If you have to experience it, the only way you can learn it is to experience it. That's a learning deficit. And it does seem like how Aries are. It really do seem like this is how Aries are, where there's just something in their brain that's severely underdeveloped, where they can't, like, you can tell them fire is hot and they still go touch the fire just to see if it's hot. Maxita said, no, the elevated Aries such as myself doesn't behave this way. Yeah, some of them don't, but a lot of them do. This is an Aries trait. I have most of them, I would say a big portion, out of, my mom had a bunch of kids, and she had multiple Aries, like 3 or 4 Aries, at least 3 or 4 Aries is what she had. My mom had at least 3 or 4 Aries. That's a lot for one zodiac sign in a group of 12 children. 3 or 4 of them being Aries is actually a lot. But the bottom line is all of them are this way. All of them are this way. There isn't an Aries in my family who can learn from the mistakes of other people. They have to, for some reason, they have to see and feel the consequences of that mistake in order to know it was a mistake. And to me, that is a learning disability. To me, that's a learning disability. Florida Bella said Aries women are a lot, not gonna lie, but not all. Yeah, not all, but a lot of them are like this. And it's too bad, because this lady has a baby. She got an infant baby now. Now you got one baby who don't got no mama because the mama is deceased with the help of the dad. So these are kids that are going to be, the kids are already screwed up because of what they came in as. I mean, this baby was conceived in hood rat drama. This baby here was conceived in hood rat drama. So I don't know why women are thinking that the way that they behave when they're pregnant isn't going to have an effect on their child. It is. So if you are engaging in hood rat activity like Krishan Rock was doing while she was pregnant, and they will all fight because the wind blew the wrong way, right? Yep. I'm trying to think of how many Aries males are in the family. There's at least 3 of them are Aries males. And these are beyond my siblings, because my siblings have had children who are Aries also. Onyx had the son. He's an Aries. She already told y'all that. V's son is an Aries. Who else somebody else's son in the family is an Aries too. So even with the extended family, my nieces and nephews, the same. They, for some reason, the consequence got to hit them. They don't believe fat meat is greasy. They don't. Aries don't believe fat meat is greasy. I don't know why. It's a thing I don't know. Some people say it's because they're the most youngest and immature sign of the zodiac. I don't know what it is. But Aries don't believe fat meat is greasy. They don't. That's why this lady didn't think about her baby. And she probably thought, and she was probably betting on that, this chick right here, she was probably betting on that restraining order. That's what she was probably betting on. What looks like it happened is they went and looked at those 5 shots. They probably went and looked at some video footage, because there's usually cameras on every street. So I don't know why these people thought they were going to have a shootout right in front of a school where there likely is cameras everywhere. Ma'am, the witnesses said you were not in any danger. You went to your car with your baby in it. You seen your baby in the car. Wasn't even enough to change your mind. This is a certified hood rat. This is a certified hood rat. When I tell y'all this, all this is a pretty hood rat. That's all this is. It's a pretty hood rat. Ma'am, you walked to your car, you saw your infant baby in your car, and your infant child did not change your mind. So nothing was. Yeah, 5 shots, that's an assassination. That's overkill. That says that there was some emotion you tied to what you were doing, and it sounds like you was being a hating ass bitch. Because it ain't like you knew this woman personally. So you don't really have a personal problem. Y'all's connection is the dick of a man with some too tight jeans on, nut huggers. Because now this chick needs to be dragged. Now she just needs to be dragged. Hold on, let me shut my window and drag her. Because ain't no way. Ain't no way you took your raggedy hood rat ass to your car and you decided to look at your baby and then go execute a woman for a piece of skinny jean dick. I know that ain't really what you did. Because he don't even look like he really throwing nothing with his no-neck ass. I'm not taking no first-degree murder charge over a man who don't even got no damn neck. Where is his neck? mad. He mad because he no neck nut huggers, and she mad because she a pregnant hood rat who don't care about her baby. Baby was gestated in hood rat mentality, and the baby was born to a hood rat who looked at her kid, didn't care that the kid was. So you don't even care if the kid witnessed you engaging in the execution of another black woman? You don't know, you didn't care about that? But I'm telling y'all, this dummy here, because that's what you're dealing with. You're dealing with a certified dummy. This dummy here thought that restraining order was going to override the fact that her dumbass brought a gun in a car with an infant and shot this woman 5 times when she didn't need to. You weren't trying to flee danger, ma'am, because all you needed to do was shoot this woman one time. Anybody get shot one time, they're disabled. There's no need. If you're really trying to get to safety, if you're really trying to just use this force so that you can get away, why was there 4 additional shots, ma'am? That's why your dumb ass is looking at premeditated murder, ma'am, because you have no argument when you shot this woman 5 times. Was she not neutralized after the 3rd? You had to give 2 more shots? There's no defense that you have, ma'am. You don't have a defense. I would love to know what this woman's defense is going to be. It ain't going to be self-defense. I know that. I know the judge ain't going to. If the judge was going to accept self-defense, if a prosecutor was going to accept the self-defense, this wouldn't be a first-degree murder. It wouldn't be. It wouldn't be. These are 2 pretty women who did not have to lose their life over a subpar bandit. Because if you got a life sentence in prison, and then her dumbass was out here like, oh, I would never. Did you really go shoot a woman 5 times and get your stupid ass on the internet and start acting like a dumbass hater, talking about what you would never do? She did do that. You went on there acting, she even went on there acting out. Literally. Literally, she jumped her dumb ass on the internet and started acting out. Ma'am, you were hating on this woman. Ain't nothing you can say that's gonna convince anybody of anything different. That's what she was doing. You were being a hating ass bitch, and you being a hating ass bitch now has you with a first-degree murder charge. Because you didn't even want to consider your baby. At no point in time was this hood rat considering her infant child in that car. You said you were sure the majority of the female inmates are Aries. Aries, Cancer, Sagittarius, and Gemini. Probably. Aries, Cancer, Sagittarius, and definitely Gemini. If you gonna say Aries, Gemini is in there too. Right along with Aries. They the same person. So, and that's why these girls battled it out to death. Because one was an Aries, one was a Gemini. Same thing. 2 reckless people who ain't go back down. So, theirs ended in the ruining of both of their life. And this is probably how it's gonna always end out with an Aries and a Gemini, because they are the same. They're the same mentality. Same mentality in this Aries within that Gemini woman. Except the Gemini woman was minding her own business. All she was doing is trying to take her kids to school. And then this hood rat and no neck came and showed up on the scene. Now 2 women are losing their life over a bandit who I guarantee you wasn't worth it. Yep, crash out dummies. That's exactly what they are. Crash out dummies. Stars Above the Emerald Forest says she can't claim self-defense because she walked away but came back to unalive. Prosecutors will argue that it is not self-defense once she walked back to her car because she was out of any perceived harm. Yeah, and they'll also argue that beyond 1 bullet, that ain't self-defense. They gonna claim that too. But you do have a valid point. Ma'am, if you was able to walk to your car, you should have got in your damn car and left, because that wasn't a situation that needed to involve you anyway. You said Geminis are unbothered. My mom is one and never stunted my dad after she left. And Geminis are unbothered until you bother them. They are. They unbothered until you bother them. And then you got a raging monster. Look, eyewitness stated the man now identified as baby daddy allegedly held Meeks in a headlock while Johnson fatally shot her multiple times. If this bandit ain't arrested, it's given he got police ties. It's given he got police ties. Police have now charged Quadasia Johnson. I mean, this girl's mama set her up to be a hood rat when she named her Quadasia. Just know that whenever there's somebody named Quadasia, Aquanisha, whatever these weirdo names are, understand that something like this is likely in the future. And I know it's stereotypical. I know that. Y'all can drag me if y'all want to. That's fine. Y'all can drag me if y'all want to for being stereotypical. But I'm telling y'all, this is what this situation seems like to me. This is what it seems like to me. Yeah, Quadasia, like, why are you naming, like, I don't understand. A hood rat. A hood rat gave birth to a hood rat girl. This girl is 31, so really her life just began, and here she is now with a murder charge and an infant baby. Investigators say Meeks Blackman had just dropped off her child at school when the two got into a physical altercation. That's when Johnson allegedly pulled a gun and shot Romika in the face, killing her. We're going to follow this trial if it goes to trial. If she don't take no plea deal, we watching this trial. Romika was in school training to become a nurse. Remembered as a loving mother, friend, and daughter, her family has been waiting for accountability, and this arrest brings them one step closer. And exactly, this person is now the daddy. Two kids without their mama over a nigga that's gonna be with another woman in the blink of an eye. He probably already was. If y'all want us to ask ChatGPT if this dude has already got another woman, we can do it. If y'all want to see, if y'all want to ask, let me know if y'all want to hit that oracle up and ask it some questions, because I'm probably gonna do it on my own personal time anyway. I'm just telling y'all, I'm probably gonna have the oracle dig into this anyway, but I'm just saying I can either do it with or without y'all. Probably without y'all because we only have 15 minutes. Maxine said we don't need to ask Chad. We already know. We do. Yeah, but sometimes we just like a little conversation. I think he got police ties. I really do. I think he got, the only way this man would it not be arrested as an accessory, they will be charging him with the first same thing. He has to have police ties. Yeah, and now he's supposed to be the single dad to two kids. One of them being an infant. You said you want to see the woman that would date him and take care of those kids. No, he about to go palm these kids off on their respective grandmothers, and he go bounce. This man ain't about to be no single daddy to no two kids, one of them being an infant, one being 7. He ain't about to do that. You think he about to take care of a 7-year-old and an infant? He's not. Look, she said that baby daddy will be married in a year after her conviction to somebody else. Then no, that baby daddy need to be charged. He needs to be charged. And the only reason why he wouldn't be charged is if he has police ties. You said one thing about it, a dusty ass black man always have options. He's gonna have a lineup of women who want to submit. Yeah, because I mean, again, problematic behaviors. But this was a hood rat, a situation that literally did not have to happen. And the fact that she pregnant again, she thought getting pregnant was gonna stop her from getting locked up. This is a hood rat. Yeah, this is the hood rat getting exactly what she deserved. I ain't even gonna comment on her being pregnant again. Bitch, you about to deliver in a prison cell? Black women really will have children in any circumstances. Black women will have children in the circumstance don't matter. It don't matter. I'm willing to bet black women will go into a damn sewer and birth a baby in Pennywise's lair if they have to. Usually if they have police ties, those police will be removed from the case and can't know anything about what's going on. That's usually how it works. And I mean, we know what's it called, corruption. So I'm not about to, yeah, I'm gonna have to discard that one, actually. Sorry. But I'm gonna have to disregard that one. I'm just gonna have to. I don't know why this thing keeps shutting off. as a result, hold on, y'all, because how this is plugged into an outlet, how this. Sorry, y'all. I don't even know how I got muted. I was sitting here talking to y'all. I don't even know how I got muted. I don't know how this muted. I don't. But I was trying to fix the light. So I fixed the lights. So now they should. So no. You know black women will go give birth to a baby in Pennywise's lair if they got to. Because they got no reason. Like cats have more concern over where they, like a cat, once it's time to deliver, they'll go hide and create a safe space. Not black women. No, black women said, no, I'll have a kid in a prison cell. I'll have a kid in a war zone. All right, we got to get into Diddy because there's links flying all over the place, even still. 50 broke the internet, so we gonna give him his credit for it because as I jumped on Instagram, more stuff is coming down the line. Misa Hilton just came out and said something after this documentary. We're going to be live on the internet in a minute. Misa Hilton breaks her silence on claims made about her and her son, and the Netflix documentary says the harassment has been heartbreaking and misleading. So we're going to go over that because she did come out and say something. There's a bunch of videos from Diddy or from 50 Cent. Yeah, I'm gonna say anything because I'm just gonna say what women have created is a problem. Women's male creations is a problem. Yeah, I'm about to go on there and make these live on YouTube. Listen, women's male creation is the problem. And they are literally going to war. Like your male creation is going to war with you. It just is what it is at this point. I'm gonna read y'all the title of a disturbing article I just saw on here with some teen males. Because I want y'all to understand the climate that has been created by giving these males unchecked power. And I'm gonna put an emphasis on giving them. Evo, deputies say 2 teenage boys brutally murdered a 14-year-old classmate by shooting her multiple times and burning her body because she said something they didn't like. This is the product of Christianity. Yes, I am going there. And I plan to continue to go there. This is y'all's Christianity at play. That's what this is the result of. And yes, I will continue to blame it on Christianity. This is a Christianity thing. It just is what it is. Oh, Cardi B is out her mind to be dealing with another Sagittarius, so she ain't learned nothing. Oh yeah, Cardi B ain't learned nothing. If Stephon Diggs is the Sagittarius and that's who she with, she ain't learned nothing. It's like you literally went from Offset to Offset. You literally went from Offset to Offset. It's what you did. Okay, all right, let's put this on YouTube now. Now I'm gonna make it because we about to get into this. Oh, we already did. I did this. Like, look at me being silly. I done already did it, and I was like, oh well, let me just go put this on there. Like, no, bro, you kind of already did. Like, why are you already did it? No, I didn't get your email. So let me try to explain this to y'all in the best way that I can. Please don't ask me if I got your personal email. Like, honestly, like you can send me a message behind the scenes and we can talk about finding your one personal email. But to think that I'm just able to notice an email for one person is funny. We are live now. We are. Or we're public. It's not saying we're live, we're public. We've been live, we're public. Yeah, we are. Yeah. Some people are supposed to be chicken heads. It's the balance of life. See, no, I don't agree with that. We don't need no chicken head hood rats who ain't considering their own kids. They just march into their car and bringing they infant babies to a crime scene. We're not doing that. Cardi is a rich bird. She not trying to learn or change if she is being rewarded with riches. I mean, again, I already told y'all money don't get rid of degeneracies. That's the one thing we learned about the Diddy documentary. And that's what we about to talk about, this damn Diddy documentary. That's what we dealing with. We gonna talk about, you said you sent me a news article. Is your YouTube name the same as your email name? Because if it is, then sure. So I'm gonna do it. But if your email and name and your YouTube name are different, then you have to help me find that email because I don't know. First of all, I get a whole bunch of emails on a daily basis, like a ton of them, not just from subscribers, but different places too. So I get a bunch of emails. So somebody telling me about one email, usually my important emails, I have to go to the companies to ask them, okay, let me just go look for your email. Nobody's one email is sitting like just at the top of my stuff. I'll have to find it. I would have to find it. Oh, okay, exclusive. Let me get you your wrench on this channel. Give me 1 second, and let me get you this wrench. Give me 1 second. I don't know why this thing closed out my, sorry y'all, it closed out my thing where I was trying to, okay. Cardi left a piece of shit covered in sterling silver and got with a piece of shit covered in platinum. One has more money with both being our poor in character. Yep. Yeah, and you can email me. Definitely email me. But I'm not saying don't email me. Do email me. You absolutely can email me. What I'm saying is coming in the chat box asking me as one person, did I get your one email, does not make sense to me. But let me go into, I have to go into onto YouTube to do y'all's thing. So hold on for a second. And then I'll, Yeah, so this is a different channel that I'm using. That's why y'all are not modded on this channel. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to. Sorry, I was about to put you in timeout. It was an accident. I accidentally was gonna put you in timeout, but sorry about that. I'm glad I caught it. I didn't do it. Yeah, so I'm just having to mod y'all on this channel because y'all aren't modded on this channel. You didn't lose your wrench. This is a different channel. You didn't lose your wrench. This is just a different channel. That's all that is. Yeah, so don't think. Because I know I have to make Maya. I'm trying to find Maya so I can make. Because I think Maya was a mod on the other channel too. I don't see her in here though. Which is, so yeah, when Maya come back, I'll remod her. No, I'm not necessarily awarding wrenches. I'm just modding the people who are modded on the other channel for right now. I'm trying to see who. No, Chrissy, I'm going up it, so I saw, all right. So anybody else, you will have to let me know later, or I'll have to see your thing. So, because we about to get into the Diddy documentary, because, listen, since Diddy got arrested, I think 50 was saying that he was making this documentary on Diddy. Let me just say this, what I find really funny. Do y'all remember during yesterday's live stream where I told y'all that this documentary reminded me of the episode in Lucifer where he spent $5 million getting revenge on Daniel Espinosa? Do y'all remember? If y'all watched the show Lucifer, Daniel did something to Lucifer he shot him. Daniel shot Lucifer. So to get revenge, Lucifer spent $5 million getting revenge on Daniel. Yeah, so he spent $5 million. Why did 50 in his video, in the interview, sit up and say he spent $5 million creating this documentary? 50 said he spent $5 million creating this documentary. This is what I found funny. And the 50's whole energy in here. Is this pre-recorded? No, this is not pre-recorded. This is live recorded. He spent $5 million and got, in Lucifer, he spent $5 million and got everybody to help him. He got everybody to help him just to get revenge. That's how petty he was. This is what I'm saying about 50. And then 50 went here and said he only spent $5 million making this documentary. I bet you they gonna make more than $5 million off of it. How much you want to bet they gonna make way more than $5 million? You said it's not showing that I'm live. That's fine. It doesn't need to show that I'm live. It's probably because I was live on Patreon first. We were private. We were on Patreon. But I want to go over some of these reactions to the documentary, specifically some of these videos about 50 responding to some of the criticism he's faced. He is the #1 show on Netflix. He is #1. So we will say that. But
Sean Diddy Combs filmed just days before his arrest on charge.
We about to go into these. I'm just getting the videos that I want to show y'all really quickly. Oh, not that one. This is okay, so that's not what I need to show. All right. So let me get into this first video. All right, so y'all see here how it's the #1 show. It just is. It's #1 on Netflix. Well, we're not surprised. We kind of knew that would happen. So here we are. It's #1, as y'all can see. This is their streaming lineup. This person said, hey everyone, Diddy shot the footage and didn't pay the people who shot for them because he lost. Netflix then bought the footage because Diddy didn't. This is how it exists. He literally played himself. This is Diddy's habit of not paying people. So Diddy's whole habit of not paying people came back to bite him. Because remember, Diddy's team was saying these recordings were private. There was a payment dispute. They tried to say, oh, well, just because there was a payment dispute. Listen, when a company like Netflix goes and buy footage from the person that they recorded it from, because Diddy didn't pay for that footage, therefore the footage did not belong to Diddy. It belonged to the person who took the footage. If Diddy didn't pay for the footage, then it wasn't his footage. Period. That's how reality works. This is not in Delulu Diddy head because he thinks he's Diddy. In the real world, if you don't pay somebody, you don't get the footage. And if they sell it, they get the footage. It just is what it is. So at the end of the day, this is what's going on. Now, somebody created this whole 50 Cent bomb, dropping a bomb. Because of 50 Cent dropping this bomb of a documentary, basically, people went and did like a decades-long beef on 50 and Diddy, apparently. Now, in interviews, 50 claims he has no beef with Diddy. He said he has no beef with Diddy, although he does acknowledge that they did have a long history of feuding. So we're going to go over it. In 2006, 50 Cent dropped the bomb accusing Diddy of having a role in the death of Tupac and Biggie. Now, I didn't know this was something that 50 Cent said in 2006. We now 20 years later, sounds like 50 been saying for a span of 20 years, mind you, there's no statute of limitations anywhere on murder cases, just so y'all know. Murder is the one thing that there is no statute of limitations on, meaning they can come convict you with you 92 on your deathbed. They can come back and convict you if they have the evidence. I have no problem with that. I have no problem with that. I think if you toe tag somebody, there should be no statute of limitations on it. That's one of the things that I 100% agree with. 50 been saying this for 20 years though. You said 50 has been on Diddy's neck for a hot minute, and I respect it. Well, 50 did say he's just trying to be what he destined to be. Like it or not, he might be a whistleblower. 50 did get shot 10 times, he survived. That's rare. That's rare. 50 said he trying to be saying who he destined to be. He might be a spiritual whistleblower. He might be. I get that there's a woman out there who already got the name of spiritual whistleblower. I get it. Maybe that's what Diddy is. Listen, we can say he petty. We can talk about his deplorable actions. 50 Cent don't have the reputation that Diddy do. Ain't nobody did no surviving 50 Cent. That don't mean he ain't did nothing. But how many for real scandals have 50 been in that matched Diddy scandals, though? Jamie D said Micro P, Golden State K-worder, was caught in 2018 after committing horrific crimes, at least in the 60s and 70s. Why would Diddy get to run amok unchecked? This is what the black community wants, Maxita. I don't know why. I don't know why. Because the black community been saying the same thing that 50 Cent is saying. They just didn't go make a documentary. But why are we acting like the entire 2000s wasn't made up of black people and they conspiracy theories about Diddy? Now all we finding out is that it's true. 50 Cent posted a Tierra Marie tape. Okay. Yeah, but that's not a huge scandal, though. That's not like a huge scandal. Exactly. 50 is messy. 50 is messy, but not at Diddy's level. Exactly. Halle Berry mixed daughter is 75% white because Halle Berry... You came in here to dissipate the energy, and I'm not even gonna sit here. I'm gonna check my temperature. I'm gonna check my temper because I know you came in here to dissipate the energy. So I'm gonna go ahead and play past your comment, but I'm gonna watch for if you try to come in here and dissipate the energy again. You know exactly who you are. Hey, controversial chat, and shout out to you. I do be watching his live streams on TikTok. I'm gonna tell you this for the person who did it again. Don't do that again. You know who you are in the comments. Do not do that again. You already know what the discussion is about. Don't come in here trying to dissipate the energy because that's all you're doing. And I suspect you to be a hardcore black male worshiper who's in here trying to shift the discussion because the heat is on black men. It's gonna stay on black men, especially when it's dealing with me. The heat will forever be on black men. I need y'all to understand that. No, we don't gotta time that person out. They can have a warning. They can have a warning. Don't time people out without a warning. Give them a warning first, because they may not know they doing something worthy of getting timed out. So before you time them out, before you block them, just to be fair, give them a warning. Then I don't have to have somebody emailing me saying they were blocked unfairly, because I'm looking at the chat box, so I'll see if people got a warning. You said people are weird AF anyways. Back to the topic at hand, which is Diddy's. Exactly. But I'm glad you came in here, Maya, because I need to make you a mod. So, there we'll go. You said, a black man put the heat on another black man. Right. But this is what should be happening. Like, to me, it shows a lot about the black community that all of these rappers and people, mind you, who were silent. You were silent. But now you want to come out and be mad because 50 put this documentary out on your boy Diddy? As if he didn't look bad enough. 50 can make this documentary. I wasn't surprised by the quality of the documentary because 50 already has other quality shows. 50 already have quality shows. So to me, it's not going to be surprising that, 50 hit us with a good, very well put together documentary. Flowed seamlessly, actually. He stuck to the person who needed to be stuck to. So I don't even know why y'all calling 50 messy. He didn't elaborate on Justin Bieber. He didn't elaborate on Jennifer Lopez. He didn't elaborate on Usher. He didn't elaborate on any of Diddy's other victims who may have felt further victimized by being tied into this documentary. That's what I noticed too. That's what I noticed too, is that 50 stuck to who the documentary was about. He didn't drag nobody in it he didn't even elaborate on Shine. He didn't even go get Shine and put him in here, and he could have. Yeah, the fact that nobody believed Capricorn Clark was crazy. Yeah, because Diddy's jury was made up of a bunch of fans. They should have been sequestered. Bottom line is, and really, this should have been a bench trial. Now, I don't know if RICO cases can be bench trials. This should have been a bench trial. It should have. To weed out bias, this should have been a bench trial. Let me see if can RICO trials be bench trials. Let me see. Because I don't know. They might not be able to. I'm seeing if RICO trials can be benched. Oh, they can. They can be benched, meaning defendant can waive their right to a jury trial and opt for a bench trial. Yeah, that wouldn't be, a bench trial would have convicted him. He would have got convicted if he did a bench trial. That's why he didn't do it. Where a judge alone decides the verdict, but this usually requires agreement from the judge and the prosecution, especially in criminal cases. Defendants often choose bench trials for complex legal issues to avoid potential juror bias. Yeah, they had this in a YSL RICO case. YSL was a bench trial. This wouldn't have worked out in Diddy's favor. If Diddy would have benched this, he would have been convicted of RICO. I'm convinced that if this was bench trialed, Diddy would have been convicted of RICO. You're not going to convince me that judge wasn't convinced that Diddy did everything he was accused of. Yeah, the Indian dude, Tam Leo, yeah, he pissed me off too. He shouldn't have been on there. He shouldn't have been on the jury. The bottom line is they shouldn't have been on the jury. He would have he would have got convicted of RICO. They were smart for not doing a bench trial. They were very smart for not doing a bench trial, because that judge would have put Diddy in jail for his entire life. Yep. Well, the judge outright disagreed with the jury. The judge outright disagreed with the jury and said, okay, the jury can disregard the video, but he saw violence on the video. That's why he didn't give him bail. The judge didn't give him bail because he disagreed with the jury and said, no, I saw a violent man on the video. I saw a violent man kicking and stomping out a teenager, basically. And y'all ain't gonna convince me that I didn't see what I saw. Yeah, Diddy only got 50 months because he had a jury. If it was just that judge, no. If it was just that judge would have convicted him. Ain't nobody gonna convince me that that judge wouldn't have said, oh my God, I'm getting so annoyed. I'm getting so annoyed because my light keep going off. And I don't understand why my light keeps. I'm trying to figure something out with these damn lights. They're getting on my nerves. Let me just see something. Hold on. I just got one more thing to do real quickly. Because these lights pissing me off. Like, something got to give. Something has got to give. And it's going to give today. Because ain't no way. Ain't no way. These damn lights just go keep shutting off. No, we not doing this. So, give me 1 second, y'all. I just got one thing to do. I'm going to get this situated real quickly. Because, no. I ain't got time. Let me see if I can do this. What are you doing? Okay. Oh, actually. This could be this. And this can go in. And then this one. In here. Okay. Okay, now we shouldn't have any more light problems. Okay. Okay, now we shouldn't have any more light problems. Because, that was irritating me. Oh, who in here acting like they don't know what's going on with this live? I don't agree with 50 doing the documentary. We'll never know, but I think he is only doing this because of Daphne. And when you cry foul about what the white man is doing to you, I don't want to hear it. It doesn't matter his motivation. What relevance does his motivation for making the documentary have to the documentary? You gotta pay, saying you gotta pay that tariff usage on the light bill. That flickering is a warning that your grace period has come to an end probably. My little tariff lights. Yeah, that's fine. I want this person to tell me, even if he is doing this about Daphne, that's fine. Let's say 100% the reason he doing this has everything to do about Daphne. What does that have to do with the validity of the information in the documentary? Why? What does that have to do with anything? 50 has been coming for Diddy even before all this shit came out, right? Like this goes back 20 years ago. I mean, we nearly in mid-December at this point. 2026 is a month away, less than a month away. So this is a 20-year issue between them at this point. Exactly. And Maxita, even if it is about Diddy, that's what I'm saying. I'm waiting for this person to come tell me what your point is. What is your point when you sit here and say, well, it could be about Daphne. Okay. And maybe it is about Daphne. Does that mean Diddy didn't do nothing? wrong or like what? Is that doesn't make 50 wrong for making a documentary. 50 has claimed Diddy has made him uncomfortable for years, publicly sharing their weird interactions on radio shows. Diddy consistently denied there was any beef. I looked at him like, what the F did you just say? 50 Cent says Diddy offered to take him shopping during 2018 Breakfast Club interview. So it seems like what was really happening is Diddy was trying to get 50 Cent to be one of his bitches, and 50 Cent was like, nah, bro, you must be on some weirdo shit over here. I'm gonna expose you one day. And now he getting exposed. 50 was extremely vocal during the time of Diddy's arrest and during the case. He even wrote a letter to the judge. Okay, y'all, I gotta read this letter. Hold on. Listen, this letter is definitely petty, so let me read his full letter because this is the first time I read it. I just read this fully the other day, and this is petty on another level. So it says, Dear Judge Subramanian, I have had an ongoing dispute with Puffy for over 20 years. He is very dangerous. Multiple times I have feared for my life. I think you should consider the safety of the general public, Your Honor. Therefore, before unleashing him upon them, this is the Karen. This is Karen behavior right here. See, this is what I'm saying. 50 Cent knows when you need to turn into a victim and a Karen. I need black women to understand this. I need black women to understand this. Don't disregard and discard the strong black woman and turn into a victim. That is what 50 did here. 50 turned into a victim of Diddy. As you are already aware, it says there hasn't been enough time for him to reform or make any adjustments despite him trying to teach a class in there. And absolutely, he's true with this. Diddy ain't had enough time to change. He hasn't. It says, as you are already aware, the government has spent the maximum amount of money on deploying federal agencies, which appear to be an army, in 2 locations simultaneously. Later, his son, who's dealing with his own rape allegations, I can't stand 50. I can't stand this man, but I see exactly what he's doing here. Actually, I think the government should employ 50. Actually, I think the government would get a lot of use and benefit out of somebody like 50. He said, which appeared to be an army, in 2 locations simultaneously. Later, his son, who's dealing with his own rap allegations, claims that the feds had hit the wrong house. Anyway, Diddy's only going to return to hiring more male sex workers. Okay, so apparently all 50 heard was male sex workers. So he said Diddy's only going to return to hiring more male sex workers and keeping most of the baby oil away from the general public. There's no way this judge took this seriously. There's just no way. There's no way this judge took this seriously. He's keeping most of the baby oil away from the general public, and babies need it. My Netflix documentary on this scandalous subject is coming soon. Listen. 50 Cent said, damn, so Pac got lined up by Brother Love? Time to lawyer up. Shit might get tricky. This is the person that you just don't want to make an enemy of. 50 said he'll take it wherever it needs to go, and I feel that's usually how I operate too. We can take this however it needs to go. 50 said he taking it to a documentary. 50 has realized that there are more ways to affect people that are more effective than just putting your hands on them. 50 Cent said, I'm going to put my intellect on you. 50 said, I ain't going to fight you the way I could. He said, I ain't going to fight you in the streets. I could fight you in the streets. But 50 said, I'm going to fight you a different way, a more effective way. I'm going to go ahead and make I'm going to expose you. I mean, because I feel like 50 could have fought D and won. I really do. I feel like if it had a 1-1 50 will win. I just, there's one fight with Diddy, and I think he will win by a landslide. I actually think physically, Diddy, 50 will mop the floor with it. I don't think Diddy will stand a chance, especially not after watching this documentary and see how weak Diddy was and still is. Oh, 50 will get like stomped out. He would. But 50 said I got a different way of handling you. In May 2024, Diddy's son released a diss track calling out those who spoke against his father with bars directly aimed at 50. This all led up to 50 executive producing a Netflix docuseries about Diddy surrounding Diddy's legal controversies, Sean Combs' The Reckoning. Listen to this.
She came in as such, she's like 18, like 19 years old. In the very beginning, after a while, over time, you condition for it.
The goal of what the film is trying to do is to let the audience kind of come in to ask questions like, were their decisions colored by certain things, and who got the benefit of the doubt, in that courtroom?
Do you think that hip-hop culture was on trial as much as Sean Combs was?
Not old. Look, if I didn't say anything, you would interpret it as hip hop is fine with his behaviors. I believe Cassie's a victim in all this because she came in as such, she's like 18, like 19 years old. In the very beginning, after a while, over time, you condition for it.
Yeah, this is the problem.
The goal of what the film is trying to do.
Okay. I have no problem with 50 Cent making this documentary. And I'm side-eyeing the people who coming out and having a problem with it. I'm side-eyeing people who come out and are going to have a problem because this highlights black male degeneracy, and they're no better than the white supremacists that they complain about. And I'm going to say it again, and I want y'all to go clip it. I want y'all to share it. Black men, based off 50's documentary, they are no better than any white supremacists they have ever complained about. Absolutely. That's why they're mad. They're mad because their degeneracy was wrapped into a documentary. They're mad because their cowardice was put on display. Because there were way too many black men there. Y'all said y'all were protectors. There are way too many black men who are on deck and did nothing about this. Said nothing about this. Cowered and submitted to a man who was a tyrant to everybody who he came across. Sabrina said, me too, Diddy is the predator. Why are you protecting the predator? That's dirty. They're protecting the predator because they are predators too. Jay is Love said, I think it's great work because we have clear answers as to who marked both Tupac and Biggie. Yeah, we gonna get into that too. You say, yeah, anybody that has an issue with this documentary, a problematic degenerate just like Diddy. They are. They are. Ain't no way you mad. You're not an upstanding person and you mad that Diddy is exposed.
How did you get that footage?
And that goes for woman and man. That goes for both, male and female. If any of y'all are sitting here shaming 50, you are the same type of person that Diddy is. This is just what I know. Don't come around.
How did you get that?
So y'all see, she want to know. She asking him how he getting the footage
of Diddy.
I feel that most journalists would not disclose their sources.
Does he know y'all have this in the doc?
I would doubt he knows.
So when this airs,
he know now.
That'll be the first time that his legal team, Diddy, that everybody knows that this footage is now seeing the light of day. Perhaps.
Combs' team firing back in a statement to NBC News, saying the Netflix so-called documentary is a shameful hit piece and that they relied on stolen footage that was never authorized for release. His team sending a cease and desist to Netflix.
Okay, but you don't own the footage though. Like, you can't say the footage is stolen when you don't own the footage. Who is it stolen from? Talking about stolen footage like somebody just found a zip drive and took all your footage off of it. No, you didn't pay the person who took the footage. Y'all look at this orange cat over here in the screen. Hold on. Y'all, can I direct y'all attention to this orange cat here? Hold on. Look at this cat. This cat, I'm like, what you mean, bruh? Like, what you mean? Hold on. I don't even know why I'm showing y'all this. This is petty and weird. Why this cat got his head look like, well, what you gonna do? What up, though? Then what up? Then what up, then? Like, that's what the cat looked like. Anyway, orange cats. Anyway. Oh, y'all can't see it? Oh, it's on the side of the video. It's fine if y'all can't see it. I don't know how y'all can't see it. Yeah, y'all can see it, because I can see it in here. You can see the orange cat. Like, look at the cat here. The cat look like I'm looking at him sideways too. The cat's looking at y'all sideways too. Because the cat said, no, Diddy deserved to be, this cat like, you sure Diddy don't deserve to be exposed? It's not about don't expose Diddy. It's about 50 cosplaying as some concerned citizen. It doesn't matter whether he's a concerned citizen or not. I don't get that 50 Cent is trying to make himself a concerned citizen. I get that 50 Cent is being petty, but nonetheless, this needs to happen. Like, that's the part that you don't get. It doesn't matter if he's not a concerned citizen. It doesn't matter if he did it because Daphne Joy. It doesn't matter if he's being petty. Diddy needs to be exposed. He's not lying on Diddy. If you have a problem with this documentary, then you are just like Diddy. To me, I'm telling you. And I believe they playing dumb too, Maxita. The next thing is going to be to block you. Because you're not this dense. You're pretending to be this dense, but you're not this dense. Because I'm starting to think you trying to dissipate the energy too. That's what I'm starting to think. I want Dame Dash to be next up. I want 50 to go after Dame Dash. That's what I want 50 to do. Y'all, Jay-Z's day is coming. We ain't gonna act like it ain't. Jay-Z moving out of the country because he know his day is coming.
We're losing.
Netflix releasing never-before-seen video of Sean Diddy Combs filmed just days before his arrest on charges of sex trafficking and racketeering in 2024. The footage is part of a 4-part docuseries, Sean Combs: The Reckoning, premiering Tuesday.
How did you get that footage of Diddy?
I figured most journalists would.
See, they put the same thing in here. Listen to what he gonna say here.
Even if Diddy got down on his knees and begged me, I still wouldn't take this show down. What you know is only about Cassie. I've dug up Diddy's entire life trajectory, fully restoring his rise to wealth and his history of scandals. I know you're very curious about where I got so many private videos, but all I can say is that producing the show cost $5 million, and the evidence, materials, and reports I have are more than what the FBI has. Simply put, I didn't do any illegal filming. These things are either his own public messes or were voluntarily given to me by someone after all. The people he screwed over stretch all the way from New York to Los Angeles. No matter how many legal letters he sent to Netflix, it was useless. The fact that the show shot straight to the top of the charts within 3 hours of release proves that he is a thoroughly despicable man. And his son Justin says I'm taking revenge for personal reasons.
Who cares?
Just to ruin his father's reputation by any means. But does Diddy even have a reputation left?
Like, always gotta put some petty in here. But do Diddy even have a reputation? Yes. The answer will be no. Diddy does no longer have a good reputation. He absolutely does not. So J. Lou Hugh said, do we not often say that black men don't expose and hold one another accountable? This documentary does just that. I want Dame Dash and Dr. Dre to be next. Well, listen. When Diddy comes out looking worse than Suge Knight's entire reputation, that's a problem. I'm going to tell y'all one thing I know for a fact, based on spiritual insight. I'm going to tell y'all one thing I know for a fact. When Diddy looked into that camera and said he don't know nothing about how Tupac died, I guarantee you he was lying. In my spiritual opinion, Nothing on that, on everything in that man's energy said you the lie and the truth ain't in you. Everything in that man's, everything said you's a lie and the truth ain't in you. There ain't no way y'all go look at Diddy when in that documentary and see that when he was asked, you saw an honest man? Yeah, his whole facial feature and all of his facial features, his body language, his energy, everything said he knows exactly what happened because he orchestrated it. He knows exactly what happened. Yeah, he is a liar. And the fact of, here's the thing. So you mean to tell me that the dude who ultimately him and his family ended up being the ones who they said shot him was tied to Diddy? Literally tied right to Diddy's family? The dude, because nobody knew, I don't think nobody knew that the dude that Tupac beat up right before he got shot was literally kin of Diddy. This was the person who was with Diddy. We gonna act like he wasn't? We gonna act like it ain't suspicious that when Diddy knew damn well there was an ongoing beef on the West Coast and that they weren't supposed to be in LA, and he sat there and canceled Biggie's tickets so that he can stay in LA, and then he ended up. So when they say Diddy brought this man literally to his demise, he brought that man to his demise and had his ticket canceled. I don't understand why he ain't locked up. There's enough evidence for Diddy to be locked up for Tupac's murder, I believe. Circumstantial, at least. They said he sent a bunch of drivers to California, then Tupac, right, coincidentally gets murdered. But by the same man that's tied to Diddy. I want to know why Diddy wasn't arrested when that man was still alive. Because now I'm looking at this as the police cover-up. At this point, I'm now looking at this as a possible police cover-up. Because here's the thing. They showed in the documentary a recording of a man literally saying, Keefe D, literally saying, Diddy did this. Diddy had me do this. Diddy set this up. Why ain't Diddy arrested? Why ain't Diddy arrested? Usually, and we know we've watched a lot of true crime cases to know that when someone is said to be a conspirator of an organized murder, people get arrested for that. When Pac got shot 5 times at the studio, Diddy did it. I'm sure he did. I'm still sure he did. Because 50 Cent painted a very good picture of Diddy's jealousy of Biggie and Tupac. I remember when Tupac died, but I didn't remember because I was so young during that time when Tupac was alive. I didn't know Biggie and Tupac were friends first. I had heard it, but I didn't know that him and Biggie were friends initially. I can definitely see that Diddy was jealous of everybody that was around. It was quite clear that Diddy was a hater because he didn't possess no talent. Yeah, that's a murder for hire. They would have went and arrested him and said, we have a witness that said you hired them for this. Yeah, and he didn't pay that man any. 2 police officers were kicked off both cases. Yeah, that seems like a police conspiracy to me. Tupac told you about Diddy, and I ain't mad at you. Oh, I wasn't paying attention to that. I was young at the time, I'm telling you. Tam Leo said Diddy told the driver to keep going through the red light, so Biggie's driver caught the light. Yeah, that's the thing. That's why I'm saying 50 provided enough information in there to where literally they will be able to go make an arrest. LAPD still hasn't arrested the singer David, and he clearly unalived. Yeah, they said he's the suspect. That's because he's a suspect. They probably don't have the evidence to arrest him. Diddy absolutely did orchestrate that Quad Studios shooting. Yeah. Diddy said, I think he absolutely set Biggie up. I think the very, listen, at least on the circumstantial level, 50 already proved that Diddy set up Biggie. On a circumstantial level, he has already proven it. Diddy wanted to be a star. That's why he took the Rolling Stone. Yeah, because the only way Diddy was going to be in proximity to women is if he was rich and famous with a whole bunch of money. Diddy was a loser and still is. Diddy is it's the same that I told y'all. You take any regular degenerate black man off the street and give him money, billions, and he go turn it to Diddy. That's why you keep seeing them get caught up in Diddy-esque situations. Because if you give a degenerate being, it doesn't matter whether it's male or female, race doesn't matter. If you give a degenerate person money, you're just enabling them to be more degenerate. And you're enabling them to be degenerate without consequence, because then they can insulate themselves from consequences with their money. That's what Diddy did. That's what Diddy did. Diddy was as non-select as your average black man. As non-select, he's not attractive by any stretch of the measure. It's being said that he got an itty bitty ditty, so he got no inches. So Diddy has nothing. He had nothing that would attract anybody to him. Because you can't have good dick game if you only got 2 inches. Ain't no good dick game coming from only about 2 to 4 good inches. That's not gonna happen. Diddy is a loser. Bottom line, a non-select loser. Because what people are saying is he ain't even good sexually. So it's not like this dude would have been able to attract women with dick. I mean, look, he got to drug him. He got to drug him in order to be able to get his rocks off, because he know he got an itty bitty ditty. And if these women ain't drugged, it's going to be very clear, even to the men. If they not drugged, if they're not under the influence of a heavy intoxicant, they go see that small dick. And they gonna know that it ain't good. They gonna know it ain't good. Then let's talk more about Diddy's background, the abuse from his mama. The abuse from his black male worshiping mama. Here, let's go over Ja Rule first, and then I'll get into my notes. Ja Rule said, "You a rat, always have been, always will be, effing rat, used car salesman, suit wearing, field gold, nose having, Herman Munster head." It don't matter what you say, Ja Rule, you the same as Diddy. So Ja Rule wanted us to know that he's essentially the same as Diddy, because anybody who is against what Diddy did should also be for 50 Cent putting out this documentary. I think he did too, Emily. Emily, they didn't put that in the documentary, but I literally wrote that in my notes. I'm about to read my notes to you because I wrote my notes. I put, Diddy was raised by a male worshiping hood rat mom who seems to have groomed her son sexually. She abused him physically. Sexually wasn't mentioned, but I can guarantee you she sexually abused him too. That's what I wrote in my notes. I believe this is where his obvious disdain for women comes from. Diddy used his money to compensate for the fact that he's been a lame, and money only contributed to the degeneracies he took on as a result of being a lame loser who nobody wanted. Those are my notes. That's one of my part of my notes about Diddy's mama. That's what I summed up from the part on Diddy's mama. Chassis T counter reaction said the title is exactly what I was thinking when I saw the documentary. Where was all the male protection? It didn't exist. We gonna get to that. It didn't exist. Ja Rule had the people stranded on an island in FEMA tents, 2 pieces of bread and a slice of shit. Ja Rule can get the hell on. There is someone in here claiming to be the woman that Diddy shot in the face. Well, if she can prove it, she can come up. Yeah, like Diddy is in the LGBTQ community. That's what Diddy is. I heard that his mother passed away when he was a child, when his supposed mother is his aunt. Not sure if that is true. Yeah, we don't know if that's true. As far as we know, that's his mama. So that's his mama. We go say that's his mama. But yeah, we not even go sit up here and try to think about, is my connection glitchy? Hold on, because if my connection is glitchy, let me do something. Let me do something. Because I think if my connection is glitchy, let me do something and try to stop it. Okay. Alright, now let's put this here. I'll let it come back on. Okay. The audio cuts out a little, then it stops. Let me see, check my audio thing, because we know. Oh, yeah. Because StreamYard keeps switching my audio outputs. Yeah, that's because StreamYard keeps switching my audio outputs. She is Natonia. The dope is nerd? What do you mean? You said Sloan Bella said Diddy will never get out of prison. He won't if they go in there and arrest and charge him for Biggie and Tupac's murders. Empowering the Girl said, what do you think about him not taking accountability for the stampede that started there? Just a bad legacy of terrible stuff. I don't even know what that means now. So, yeah, I don't even know what that means. The prison should only play Tupac songs in prison. They're not gonna do that. She's saying Diddy shot her in the face. The dope is nerd. I don't even see her. Oh, I see her in here. She said, how, Maxita? Oh, you said you're here? Okay. Are you able to like kind of prove it, or I don't know. Oh, okay. Well, let me drop the link for you then. Let me drop the link for you. So that link is only for the Dope is Nerd, so she can come up. That's who that link is for. If anybody else come up, I'm gonna boot you out the back. So let her come out. Those 9 souls have been chasing him ever since. Yeah, I don't know anything about a stampede. I don't follow Ja Rule at all. I just know that Ja Rule set up here, and I know 50 and Ja Rule has had they issues too. And I do know 50 and Ja Rule has had they issues as well. So it's not surprising to me that Ja Rule is saying what he's saying. But there's also this that Diddy is saying. So let me take this back to the last clip that I was going to show about Diddy. Oh, this is not my thing at all. Oh yeah, this is a different one. Okay, let me close this really quickly. This is the one I'm going to. This, okay. 50 Cent shared a picture of some flowers alleging that Diddy sent them to his club appearance in Miami, Florida. What kind of gay shit is this? Diddy sent me flowers at Club 11. LOL, why all the flower play get bussy? You know I'm stupid. He said, a warning, I'm 90s grimy. You don't warn me. Like, He said I'm a 90s grimy ninja. You don't warn me, LOL. Let me grab something on my email because he's just going in. And he's just going to continue to. So now I want to get into this situation with Misa Hilton because she came out. I don't know why Gene Deal was on here speaking about it, but he is. So let's get on here. Somebody already saying, y'all remember before the Diddy court, she was saying Diddy had her son involved in his mess? Yeah. But now she don't want to. Look at how many people were helping Diddy to hide this. Look at how many people were hiding this for him. Look at how many people were hiding this for him. It just is what it is. This was beyond hiding, beyond protecting a man who should have never been protected. Never. All of the protection only went towards this man. Diddy got the protection. That's who black men were protecting. They weren't protecting no women. They were protecting themselves and Diddy. That's what they were doing. Misa Hilton says she and her son Justin are being harassed after the Netflix doc alleges Justin participated in freak-offs with Diddy. Is the documentary the only thing that alleged that? Because that came out during the trial. Why are you putting this on the documentary? Before the trial started, people were saying that Justin was in these freak-offs too. So why are you now blaming it on the documentary? Let me play this. Anyone who knows me knows I'm a private person. This is from Misa Hilton. And it pains me that I even have to post this. The harassment my son and I have been dealing with because of things implied by Gene Deal and stated in a recent Netflix documentary has been heartbreaking. I don't like this woman. I don't get a good energy vibe from her. I don't. I'm just going to leave it there and play this video from Gene Deal. I'm tired of Misa Hilton, though.
With a nigga, he can't tell you what kind of ammunition to bring to the fight. What you gonna load up with.
Oh, hey,
you're not gonna tell a nigga the ammunition that you gonna use. Cause you're gonna use any and everything that comes your way.
She do give Bird vibes.
For instance, you had niggas.
She gives black male worshiping Bird vibes. That's what she gives. She gives black male worshiping Bird vibe. Then she said, the truth is, the public is being misled about me and my child. We've been dragged into something we never asked for. A cruel game built on rumors and agendas. Did she really just call this rumors and agendas? And this, she couldn't have possibly watched this documentary. There's no way she watched this documentary and she's calling it rumors and gossip. There's no way you watched this documentary and you thought it was based on rumors and agendas. There's no way you watched it and you said that. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to brush past that. Please take a moment before believing everything you hear. We're believing what we saw, ma'am. This ain't just about what we heard. This is about what we saw as it was presented in a documentary. So nobody's sitting here just going by what they heard. The most painful part is that this is happening because of men I once trusted to protect me, not harm me. And the saddest thing is that none of this affects the people spreading it. It only hurts me and my son. Like Gene said, we've been treated as casualties of war with a little critical thinking. Why are you insulting people? Why is she insulting people? With a little critical thinking, it will be easy to realize that the things being said could not possibly be true because of the results. With a little critical thinking, this woman would have realized that 50 isn't just saying stuff in the documentary, he's showing stuff. Diddy let Misa go homeless and she was living in a car and he didn't lift a finger to help her. Now she's trying to protect his image. Because she think he getting out of jail. That's why. Because she sees he's getting out of jail and she still want to be able to utilize him if she can, but it's given this dude again left you starved and homeless in a car. Yeah, her son is a demon. And we know that usually black moms like this, her vibe is the same as Diddy's mama. Misa Hilton, I guarantee you, is the same as Diddy's mama. That's what she's giving. And then she's going to say this will be a post and delete. Why are you even posting it if you go delete it? What's the point of posting it if you're going to delete it? You want people to see this, ma'am. You want people to share this, ma'am, or else you want to put it out there. So it really don't make no sense that you go delete and post. This woman is the same as Diddy's mom. And this is what I really believe. $100% of what I believe is that Misa Hilton is the same as Diddy's mom. That's possibly where the attraction and then the throwing away came from. You said you remember the footage of Diddy calling Justin pretty and how he is a pretty MF. No, I don't remember that, but to me, Justin Combs is Albie Shore's son, right? Ain't Justin Combs the light-skinned one? The Albie Shore son? She's calling things people saw with their own eyes rumors and gossip. Oh, Quincy is. So listen, I'll say this. Ain't none of Diddy's sons attractive except Quincy. Quincy is the only one that's attractive. Diddy's son look like Diddy. Diddy is not attractive, therefore his sons are not. Diddy is not pretty, therefore his sons are not. I don't care how much y'all thought Kim Porter was pretty. She wasn't pretty enough to make his sons cute. The daughters, yeah. The sons, no. Those sons ain't attractive at all. They look like Diddy. Diddy ain't attractive. They ain't attractive. So can we not talk about Diddy's sons being attractive again? Because they not. You said bye, Kim and Diddy's genes don't mix well. Maxine, I gave her the daughters. I gave her the twin daughters. The twins are pretty. They are. That's why I gave her the twin daughters. That's why I said the daughters, yes. Sons, no. Yeah, Quincy doesn't look like him. If his sons look like Kim Porter, they probably would be cute. The daughters actually look like their mother. Quincy looked like his real dad. That's why he's cute. I didn't know Albie Shore sung that song Night and Day. That's like one of my favorite songs, and I did not know that Albie Shore sung it. I just know it's called Night and Day, and I really like the song. I'm actually gonna listen to it when I get off of here. Justin looks nothing like Diddy. Here's the image of his mother. Maybe I need, let me see Justin Combs, because let me see something, because we gonna see, because I saw two of Diddy's sons who look just like him. Oh yeah, Justin don't. Yeah, no, Justin don't count. He don't look like him. Yeah, he doesn't. He absolutely doesn't look like him. But he got a different mama too, right? I take it Kim ain't his mama. I take it Kim's not Justin's mama, because he doesn't look like Kim either. Oh, you said only Kim Porter's son. Okay, so then Justin's not Kim Porter's son either. Then, okay, that's probably why he don't look like Diddy. He don't. Misa is Justin's mom. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, if he was saying that about Justin, then yeah, I can see why he would say that he was pretty. I can see why he would say that the Justin was pretty, but yeah, not those others, not that son that looked like him, no. And not Christian Combs, who's the spitting image of his ugly daddy, not him. You said Justin looks like Misa and his bad wolf. Yeah, he do look like his mama. He do. Yeah, he do. You can tell he look like his mama because he don't look like Diddy. He don't look like Diddy. Because YouTube looks at an insult as hate speech. That's why they will be that's why they will be doing that. Because they look at it as bullying and harassment and stuff. And you call her like that. You just say he's unattractive, girl. Just say he's unattractive. But Misa Hilton can go on about her day. Misa is now giving Diddy's mama vibes. I don't know this lady's name. This is why I'm not using her name, because I don't know her name. I don't want to know her name. Shame on the woman who chose to birth him to term. That's all I'm going to say. Shame on him. Shame on him is what I'm going to say. But let me get into these notes that I wrote about this. Let me get into these notes, because here's the thing. There was a question asked by the newscasters. Y'all saw the question where she said, do you think hip hop was put on trial here? I think the hip hop culture does need to be put on trial because it's black male culture. Oh, I'm sorry, the dopest nerd. I didn't even see you back here. You have to take yourself off mute and connect to the audio.
My apologies.
My apologies.
Greetings.
How are you?
Good, thank you. Sorry about that. I literally didn't even see you back there. I'm just going on and looking at emails and stuff. Meanwhile, you're sitting there. Sorry about that. I'm Cynthia, as you can see. So it's nice to meet you.
Nice to
meet you as well.
Yeah, they had you in the documentary.
Are you hearing
feedback?
I don't hear the feedback, no. But I will mute myself and I'll let you come on. I'll let you talk, because we did see you in the documentary for absolutely. I recognize your face from it for sure. So especially since I just finished watching it, part of it I just finished watching this morning. Actually, episode 4 I just finished watching this morning. And so it definitely, well, all you would need to do is see her to prove with her. But let me go on mute so you can talk.
No, I mean, I'm here to talk with you. I don't want to just take over your show, but I just happened to be scrolling through and I saw you live and I said, okay, I listened for a while. I said, let me log on.
Okay, so they said you have an echo, but I'll definitely mute every time you talk. So this is the question I want to ask you, because they showed the video of the aftermath. They showed the image of you crying after the jury verdict, where they acquitted Diddy. Were you crying because they acquitted him?
I was angry because it was significant.
This has been a December 27th, 2025 will be my 26 years of survival after having been shot in the face by Puffy. And I forecasted, I spoke to the DAs. When the trial was going on, they called me, we spoke twice. I told them things that they should not do. Don't let your jury be unsequestered. Don't send them home. Don't let them have any contact with him. He's going to charm your jury and you're going to lose the jury. They didn't listen. I warned them about all of this because I saw all of this manipulation play out in my trial. You know, he was on trial for shooting me 2001. I saw it all play out. I was astounded that 20 something years later, they fell for the same okie doke. It's almost as if they want to hold him out in front of the public specter, but not really punish him. It's just ridiculous to me.
You know, I think Diddy is doing what a lot of people who get caught up in scenarios like this do. I think Diddy definitely threw money at his situation, which is what was said in the documentary. Actually, I do believe he threw money at the situation. I think everybody has a price, and I think the government definitely has a price. And I think that there has been many people who have bought their way out of consequences for their behavior, and I think Diddy is one of those people. I also think they had a bunch of fans as jurors, and I do think that when the jury tries to say they weren't biased, they absolutely were. I think they had too many males on the jury. I think males should not be on the jury when it has anything to do with women being harmed by males or women being sexually assaulted by males. I don't think males should be on the jury because they are biased, and it's quite clear that they're biased. I think they did a lot of things wrong. I think not sequestering the jury was wrong. I think they threw too much technical and forensic stuff at them. I think they threw too much for them to understand. I think they threw a lot of what they couldn't understand. I think they had fans there. I think there was biases all over the place. And I really think they should have tried. I think the prosecution should have tried for a bench trial, and I think they would have won if they would have tried for a bench trial. I don't think they should have had a jury.
I take
those things into consideration, but
I see it from a different perspective. So it was a New York jury. According to the legal process, people always say you don't want to end up in front of a Manhattan jury. A Manhattan jury, they tend to be a little more technical and sophisticated with access to the information. What I feel is the problem was that there was no one who reflected the culture on the prosecution team. I even offered to them, let me be your prosecution. I can be a consultant for you, a prosecution consultant, because it's like, I forget the gentleman's name. He said, this is a 6-pack of white women. When you're not of the culture, there's a lot of nuance, a lot of technicality, a lot of things that are going to go over your head. And that's what happened here. A lot of things were allowed to slide, a lot of things that they didn't have firsthand understanding of while they were presenting a case and dealing with potential witnesses. A lot of things slipped over their head because they are not of the culture, and cultural relevance is important. You see it in juror 70, or was it 75, or whatever his number was. This guy, I didn't know him, I'm not a fan, but you come from a culture where the abuse of women is accepted. You should
That's part of what I was talking about with that Indian guy.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Culturally, abuse is accepted, normalized. It is not a problem in Indian culture. So to put an Indian man on there dealing with a celebrity, knowing that it's just like the misogyny in the Indian culture is through the roof. So I don't think he should have been on there. But there was a black woman on there too. She said she grew up listening to Diddy. She said she grew up listening to it.
Look at it from perspective as well. As it pertains to her, I was absolutely disgusted. I think her conduct, they both had duping delight on their face. They were both excited to be a part of it. You have people who, in no aspect of their life, come into contact with celebrities. You have someone now who has proximity to a celebrity by virtue of the fact that you have authority over what happens to their future. It makes people feel special who don't typically feel special in their lives. She was all too eager. The fact that she said she was a fan, she watched Making the Band when she was a kid and all this stuff, inappropriate. There's no way as a prosecution consultant I would have said, take that girl. It was an absolute mistake. She looked at it, she approached it from a perspective of, oh, I got a new story to tell at my cocktail hour. And she was gloating. It was disgusting to see that little, there's a thing in psychology called duping delight. It's a little smirk, a little grin people get on their face when they feel joy and satisfaction of thinking they're getting over on someone. Her and the Indian man both had it. And it was just disgusting to see. But Sophie has gotten away with far too much of it. I've been, prior to Cassie coming out, I was the premier formidable opponent. I was the only person that would fight back against him. Everybody thought I was crazy for years. I, from day one, said, Puffy shot me. I saw him. I watched him. I got shot in between my eyes. I was watching. I got shot in the top of my nose between my eyes. I saw it. Broke my nose, shattered my cheekbone, destroyed my face. Big chunk of bullet still on my occipital nerve. I go through a lot. I went through a lot of medical problems. I know who this man is. I was in the music industry prior to that. A lot of people have this notion that Shine took the fall. Shine did not take the fall. Shine shot a man named Julius Jones that night. I've been the only person championing the cause for Julius Jones, making sure people know Shine shot Julius Jones. And I have video. If you go on my YouTube channel, you'll see a video that says shot. I have a full recording of Shine admitting to shooting Julius Jones and apologizing. People don't know that Shine got his record deal because he came to the studio to rap in one of my sessions. And my homeboy who was managing him asked me, could they take a sample and shop that for him to get a demo, shop it as a demo for him to get a deal. Like, this thing is way deeper than people know. And it just bothers me that
See that
people are so
people are so willful blind.
Yeah, some things obviously we can't say, or else I would be saying them, because I think there was some other things that Diddy employed. But here's the things why I say there shouldn't have been a jury. I think it should have been a bench trial, because when you're dealing with somebody who is as popular as Diddy, you're going to be hard pressed to find somebody who actually ain't familiar with him, or who actually wasn't a fan of him or one of the artists that he brought out. And multiple of them were fans. Even when after the verdict, one of the white dudes came out and said, "Oh, they were trying to turn Diddy they were just trying to turn him into a freaky rapist or whatever." They shouldn't have had a jury. I don't think they should have had a jury. In order to make sure there were no jury bias, they should have did a bench trial like YSL's RICO case was a bench trial. That judge would have convicted Diddy.
YSL with a jury.
Oh, I looked it up in Google. Why? Oh, they said it was a bench trial. Oh, so Google is lying then. Yeah, because they. Wow, yeah, because when I looked it up, they used the YSL trial as an example of a RICO trial being a bench trial. But if that's not true, then I don't know. I would have to look more into it. But
also, YSL was a
RICO charge. Diddy was under federal RICO, so the distinction between them is vastly different as well. I think the entire jury system in the United States of America needs to be done over. What it calls for is for someone to be tried by a jury of their peers. This random Indian man is not a jury of Puffy's peers, and neither is this young female. In fact, most of the stuff that was discussed that she sat in the jury and listened to, or that's come out in this documentary, she wasn't even alive to know about it. Like, I've seen a lot of, and no disrespect to any young content creators, because their voice has relevance as well, but I see too many people coming out, let me tell you the tea, and then they're all now coming back out like, I didn't even know there was a City College Stampede. I was supposed to go that night. My sister and I were going, and I got this feeling that said, don't go. And when I said I'm not going, my mother said, you ain't going. And told my sister she couldn't go, and she was pissed with me. But I had this overwhelming feeling of danger and peril, and I didn't go. The night that I got shot, my youngest son said to me, don't go, mommy. You're going to go up to the sky and I'm never going to see you again. I've carried the guilt of that my entire life. This young man is now 33 years old. He was 7 at the time. But I think God will give you a whisper. If you don't heed the whisper, he'll give you a roar. If you don't heed the roar, he'll give you a brick in the face.
So let me ask you a question. I do want to ask you a question about the jury, because I know people are saying the jury should have been sequestered. I don't think it would have mattered if they would have sequestered the jury or not, because of the type of person that Diddy is. But do you think if the jury was made at 100% of just black people, do you think it would have been a different outcome, that they would have convicted him? I don't either.
No.
I don't either.
I don't think that needs to be the so.
I think what the threats is that there need to be people who are more aligned, people who don't have this fandom like the young lady did, but people who are more aligned. I think men can be on it, because there's some very level-headed men who can make a, phenomenal decision, listen to the evidence, and judge accordingly. I think that maturity is a factor, and not just age maturity of mind. And there needs to be some type of qualification test when people sit for a jury, not just asking a couple of questions, because the prosecution is always going to try to pick people that they perceive to be favorable to them, and the defense is going to try to pick people that they perceive to be favorable to them. I don't know that a judge, because judges also have a blind spot. They're not of these communities, they're not of the culture, and so they will judge it according to their own biases, and that's dangerous too. The law says you have a right to face your accusers. So if it's just relegated to what a judge thinks, you're not really the jury of your peers is not really factoring in. I think it can be done, but it needs to be revamped. Most people
Most
don't
people don't even know.
No, I do too. I actually was thinking that after the trial, I was like, because here's the thing. A jury should not be able to look at a video where a man is clearly brutalizing a woman and preventing her from leaving and then say she was never held against her will using violence. Like, that to me was a problem, because during the bail hearing, the judge paid attention to that video and decided to not give him bail based on that video. So I don't understand how a jury gets to disregard something that's completely on video. It's like, absolutely not. Like, they should have been told, this is something you can't, whatever your decision is, it has to factor this video. We're not gonna act like we didn't see this video, but the fact that they were completely allowed to disregard something that was on video in nearly 4K is a problem. That was a problem for me. Absolutely not.
Here's something to consider also. Had the jury been sequestered, sequestration of a jury then takes away your ability to interact with your people at home who are on their own respective social media platforms and giving you information. You are away from your family, kept at a location, and then they also control your access to, they could put them in a hotel where they have a firewall and they only have to use the phone in the room. There's a lot of things that sequestered juries do. And what I know happened in my case, because it came out after the fact, is that he paid jurors off. He paid witnesses and jurors off back in 2001. The fact that they were getting on the same train as everyone else and going home, there are people sitting in the courtroom watching the proceedings. They can see the faces of the jurors. It takes nothing for them to wait till after court, follow them home, and make a proposal to them. Hey, we got this money for you. People are struggling out here. People are struggling to pay their rent. And I know by virtue of the fact of letting those people have access to the jurors, sending them home to their communities, all of them or most of them got paid. I can almost bet my pinky on it, because it happened in my case.
So let me add, do you think that if the jury was sequestered, that they would have considered the video with because the reason I'm bringing up this video is to show that it wouldn't matter if they were sequestered. Sequestering them wouldn't matter one bit. Because if they can go and visibly see a video that we all saw, where Diddy is clearly beating on and dragging this woman, and disregard that video, then sequestering wouldn't have changed the outcome. It wouldn't have. I don't think sequestering would have changed it. I think this was a group of fans and misogynistic males, and that's what they went by. Because if you're gonna look at a video and disregard it, nobody's saying he was charged for the video. The video was there to prove that he was forcing Cassie to engage in behaviors by use of violence. If they were able to watch that video and disregard it, sequestering wouldn't have mattered. It wouldn't have mattered if they sequestered. It wouldn't have mattered if they locked those jurors in a cave.
Consider
this perspective.
When people are not sequestered, they get to go home and interact with their family members. You got some people who are shrinking violets, who it doesn't take anything for their father or their husband or somebody to be like, you need to go in there and free that man. You know, people are subject to the biases of the people they're around. If you sequester them away from that negative impulse in those people, then it locks them away to their own decision making. Now, do some people still have biases? Absolutely. Some people have conditional biases, permanent biases, all of that. And those things factor in. But I'm telling you, everyone having access to their own respective social medias that they can go home after trial and scroll all night. You heard the girl say, some people were like, I can't wait to go home and get on my IG. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. The fact that they were able to go home and watch the same crazy circus that was happening that the world was subjected to when they should have been focused. I'm telling you, it makes a difference. It makes a difference. But you know, it's the past, so we can't change. But there's so many other things here that was wrong and went wrong. And I think what 50 Cent did in this documentary was flawless. First of all, this was the best of all the documentaries, and I was in a few documentaries. This was the best. You know, I think the way he his purview and how he came to it was different because, like I said before, he's of the culture. So he understands. He has a stake in it. He has a firsthand account and understanding. A lot of the other production companies that made videos were just in it for clicks and views and money. They're not of the culture. Some of these are the same people who were reporting, oh, hip hop is this and hip hop is that, and were negative about the culture. But when you come to it because it's something it's like if I did a video on Czechoslovakia, it would be weak at best. It would be, I would have secondary and tertiary information. He say, things from the internet that are probably unverified. But by virtue of the fact that 50 Cent is a part of this generation, a part of this culture, has firsthand experience and knowledge, we hear things. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I've known so much of this. I've been exposed to all these people. I was a vocalist back then, but I also owned a beauty salon. So when I would go to the record companies and deal with A&Rs and deal with record company presidents, when I didn't like what they were saying, I was like, I'm out of here. And I would go back to my business. I wasn't out here like, oh, I have to be a singer. I need this record deal. That's how they got a lot of people. They manipulated a lot of people out of desperation, what we call today thirst. Some of it was people wanted to be down at any cost. And I'm telling you, the 90s and the 80s, that whole era was a totally different thing. Like it's literally, you had to be there. I don't care how much I explain to people what the 90s in New York hip hop culture was. It doesn't resonate because it was such an enigmatic situation. You don't really get it. Like you had to be there. It was one of those you had to be there situations. And it was
Well, here's the thing. I'm an '80s baby, so in the '90s I was very young. So so that's the thing. But what I do know now is that the culture is what's defending Diddy. I do know the culture is what elevated Diddy. I know the culture turns a blind eye to black men and their criminal behavior. So honestly, I think that if the culture was on the I think if they brought people who was actually from the culture and put them on the jury, I think he wouldn't have even got convicted of those 2 prostitution charges. I think he would have been completely 100% acquitted if he would have got and I think if they would have got people from the culture, if it was stacked heavily with black people from the culture, he would have been completely acquitted. I don't think he would. I think he definitely wouldn't be in prison right now. Absolutely not. I think that we tend to overestimate the moral code of the black culture. I think we tend to overestimate the caring that the community has for victims, especially when they are black female victims. And I think the culture would have cared less about you and your pain than they did about Diddy. And I think they would have completely 100% acquitted him.
I think so. I beg to differ. I hear what you have to say, but I beg to differ. I think the culture that you speak of that has this big echo chamber, those people have the echo chamber. Those people are content creators, they're influencers, they're out here in the public eye and they're talking. As a whole, I do not believe as a culture we haven't made inroads. I think there is a lot of misogyny in the culture still, absolutely, unequivocally, because when he shot me, they would say, this woman trying to take a good black man down, but what they were really saying is she's trying to take a man down. And that's what it was. They didn't want to hear what I had to say because if they had listened to me, they had no choice but to understand what I was saying was facts. So you're right, but that's the patriarchy. I don't think we needed everybody of the culture to be on the jury, but I think we do have work to do, absolutely, as a culture. But the very same people who were rallying behind him at some point, they feel an allegiance to it's still a us against them thing. They're fighting, well, we're going to defend him because the system. We got to get out of that mentality when it turns to things like this, because for people to say, oh, well, they trying to take a black man, every one of his artists that he robbed were black people. Every one of them. I knew quite a lot of them. I knew Biggie. I took my little sister and had her in Biggie's video. I mean, Clark Kent, the DJ, I grew up with Clark Kent. He grew up around the corner from my house. When Biggie was coming out, he was like, yo, Eb, you got to hear Money. You got to hear this dude. I was there for all of it. So there is a lot of support, and there's a lot of people with integrity who don't tolerate this stuff. That's why it's the number one, documentary or number one streaming thing on Netflix, because people are tired. And so that we account for a large cross section of that. I just think that we have to do a better job of improving our moral plateau. We really do.
So,
You are 100%.
so I want to ask you this question. I definitely want to talk about these inroads that we've made on the culture, because I actually think we regressed as a culture. I don't think we've made any progress. I think we've went backwards. But I'll ask you, because you said that you feel as though it was more of a he's a man than him being black. Do you think the black community, the culture, do you think they prioritize black males or black women?
Black males.
Black males. I think, well, I'm not going to say this.
I'll say, as it pertains to certain things, the patriarchy still reigns supreme in this country. Men have, since the men from the beginning of time have dominated society and wanted to have a hold on society that they didn't release. I think women have the power, which is why we hear the narrative that black women are the most educated people in the world, not just America, the world. That comes from something. That is a moral plateau. You don't become the most educated cross section of society off of no moral compass. I think society is trying to push us down. That's why they call black women 92%. That's why they say whenever something goes down, we come to the rescue and save things. I do believe we have made amazing inroads. Now, is there a subsection of our, race that has regressed? Absolutely. We can see it. It's like, but this is by design. Anytime we get to, anytime we achieve so much, the system will methodically put us back. And I know it's an off-topic thing, but it's just like what Trump organization just did to education. They said all of these degrees are no longer professional. You know why? Because they're held by black women. Black women have more PhDs than anyone. You understand what I'm saying? In some degrees, we are fantastic and society holds us, the culture holds us up. But in other areas, and I don't ever want us to confuse the entirety of our culture with this small subsection that's on social media and popping and always on screen, and people see those people. We're not all the same. We're not a monolith. And I think we vary a lot. As far as inroads, we've done amazingly. I think we have far to go. And I definitely think that, there is a subsection of us that's walking us backwards, but it's by design. There's a system that creates the dynamic for that to take place, and they're still in business.
So I think one of the issues with the black community is that we look at black men.
I think.
I said, well, let me check my audio really quickly. I just want to make sure it's correct. Okay, so
I can't hear you. Are you muted?
No. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me?
I'm not
able to hear for some reason.
Okay, so they said they can hear me.
I might have to come out and come back in.
Yes.
I can't hear anything.
Yes, go out and come back in. Yep. She's gonna go out and come back in. Yeah, she just couldn't hear. Yeah, she couldn't hear me. Is what she couldn't hear me. But I hope she comes back, because I need to finish this conversation. Black men need to, ain't nobody being hard on black men. I'm simply pointing out black males' behavior. And black men are a part of the system. We should not see black men as separate from the system, especially since they've benefited it so much. Because black men literally have fought to be a part of the system. They have sabotaged these dudes were literally overseers on plantations. So we're not going to act like when we're talking about epigenetics, there isn't a mindset in black men as a result of being overseers on the plantation that causes their mindset to literally be the same as the white supremacists that they complain about when it literally applies to the black community. We do have a trash culture. We have made zero inroads. There is nothing to substantiate that the black community have made progress. Every area of measure say that we have not. We've made nothing. You said celebrity is overwhelmingly persuasive. Look at the OJ trial. Black women let him off. Yeah. No, the culture would have fully acquitted Diddy. That's what I want to be understood. The culture backs what Diddy does. The culture protects Diddy's. This is what the problem in the community is. Because how is it that we've made inroads and progressed, but we now have a femicide? We have a femicide rate. Only community on the planet who have the femicide rate. Only community on the planet where the males are actively aligning themselves against women. Only community where this is happening. Only community where the femicide of the women in the community is caused by the males in that community. Only thing that's been happened here. The thing is, the reason why she hasn't gotten justice is because of the culture. That's the reason. The reason why. The people who tainted the jury pool is the culture. Because I saw the culture all online talking about Free Diddy. That's what I saw the culture doing. I saw the culture saying, well, Cassie wanted it because she stayed. That's what I saw the culture doing. I saw the cultures blaming Cassie and various other women for things that Diddy did. That's what I saw the culture doing. The culture is saying free Tory Lanez. The culture, okay, let me drop the link. I didn't know she still needed the link. I'm putting it in there. Yeah, the culture protects and insulates people like Diddy. I'm dropping it again. It's coming. Yeah, no, that wasn't just online. Like the group of the culture outside of the courthouse cheering Diddy on? No, sorry, but the culture would uphold the degeneracy. The culture has been upholding the degeneracy. That's why the community is, and it's not just a small minority. It is absolutely the majority. You don't have this community construct and it's just the minority of people. It's not a small echo chamber, and black people are a monolith. And the reason we know black people are a monolith because anybody can come into the community and trick black people using the same material. So if they can, we're not a monolith, but black people are the most Christianized in this country, and the majority of black people are Christian. We're not a monolith, but most black people speak the same way, eat the same food, talk the same way, and have the same beliefs. We're not a monolith, but most of black women are black male worshipers. We're not a monolith, but we have a 70% rate of absentee fathers. The majority of the men are not taking care of their kids, but we ain't a monolith. The majority of black women are Christianized black male worshipers, but we're not a monolith. The majority of black men are uneducated, can't read, unemployed, and degenerate, but we're not a monolith. We are a monolith. And I think if we stop lying and saying we're not a monolith, then we can actually become not a monolith. We are absolutely a monolith. If you're going to say the system has done this and has a plan for black people, I need to know how the system could have any agenda for the black community that's not a monolith. The black community would have to be a monolith for, I don't see you backstage. Oh. No, because if you were backstage, it would be right here. No, you're not backstage. This is old. Yeah, you're not backstage. This is definitely old. Oh, you said turn the volume down? People usually complain about the volume. Okay, let me read these things. DJ Torch Live said this documentary is the best thing 50 did for the black community. Men like Diddy run amok just because they have some talent or swag. Then when Pac, we read those, Biggie, Pac, and Kim Porter, he the whole serial killer. That will make him one. That will definitely make him a serial killer. Stay in the fight, sis. I will always support. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Okay. Sorry, I just had to read. And I'm gonna let y'all know the reason why I monetize this channel is because YouTube is gonna monetize it anyway. Whether they give the money to it's just about whether they give the money to the creator. But if y'all don't already know, YouTube is going to run ads on your content whether you are monetized or not. That's why I monetize the channel, because they're gonna do it anyway. They'll just collect all the money and keep it. That's what they'll do. If you monetize your channel, then they'll split it with you. If you don't, they're going to collect all the money and they'll keep it yourself. I didn't forget my question, but I got to get off of here. I'm getting off of I didn't plan to be on here all day. I'm getting off of here in about 8 or 10 minutes.
Sorry about that.
It's fine. Yeah, but so what do you think are the inroads that we made? Because I adamantly disagree. I don't think we've made any inroads at all. I think we've gotten worse out of the community. I think we've gotten less moral out of the community, and I think we've shown more degeneracy than anything else.
I think from that perspective, I think it's discussing us as a monolith. Now, do I believe that some cross sections of our, culture have regressed? Absolutely. The drill music, all of that crazy stuff. Yeah, those are all regressions. This whole, where my dollar's at type chick. I mean, that's always existed in the culture, but it's just loud because the internet is an echo chamber. I think there are far more of our community and culture doing amazing things that no one hears from. They don't endeavor to get in front of the camera or to make that noise. They don't have the echo chamber, so it looks like as a whole we are not. But I beg to differ at all. I don't believe our culture is sliding backwards at all. I believe there are some of us who have a lot of work to do. And it's by design. The same people who sought to destroy us before have just monetized our destruction by not giving the architects of hip hop the big dollars, but giving these young ones who are talking about, all this negativity, they give them the money to fund themselves. And thus far, they have a massive echo chamber because they're making noise. They're wealthy. They're garnering attention. They're endeavoring to get into attention. The people, they're regular moms and dads, teachers and doctors and nurses that are out here doing amazing things, and they're not on the internet. So it looks like our culture is slipping backwards, but it's just a subsection. It's just a small subsection. I wouldn't paint us all with that brushstroke because we're not a monolith. There's so many, educated young people out here, innovative young people that are doing amazing things, creating things, and doing well, owning businesses, doing well, but they're just not on the internet.
So let me ask you this question. Nearly 500,000 Black women lost their jobs. Can they be employed by the culture? Will the culture employ them? Will the culture employ the near 500,000 Black women who lost their jobs? Can the culture help them?
So I
don't think it's the culture's job to actually employ them.
I think
really. Oh, that's funny. How do you improve a community then? Because how can we?
I don't think it's the culture's job to employ them. I think when you lose your job,
most of those people are innovative, brilliant people. They can create businesses themselves and employ some of those women. But don't sleep for 1 second to understand that it is by design. The same system that has been holding us back all this time, because we're on the internet saying things like Black women are the most educated people.
Hold on though, because now we're having contradictory narratives. We're saying that the Black community isn't a monolith, but somebody is able to consistently hold us down. How is the system able to consistently hold a non-monolithic group of Black people down? I need that explained to me.
I can explain it to you phenomenally well. It is the same way we've held our people down since time immemorial.
Why? But how? But here's, hold on. Here's the thing. if we're saying black people are not a monolith, then that means we have different belief systems, we have different ways of life, we move differently, we think differently, we value different things. So that means there would have to be 3 or 4 or 5, depending on how many different groups of black people are when they're outside of their monolithic state, because they're all doing something different. Then that means they would have to have different tactics. That means the tactics that they use to trick the community would have to be multifaceted and different. They're not, though. The tactics are the same. The system that's supposedly attacking black people, they're not doing anything new. They're doing the same thing. Everything is the same. I can hear you.
People are trying
to call me and it's knocking my sound out.
Yeah. If we can reschedule the discussion.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Because I can't
hear anything.
I can hear you.
I can't
hear anything.
Are you able?
Are you guys able to hear me now?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure why it's not letting me
hear anything.
hear anything.
I hear you just fine. Yeah, we both hear you.
Hold on a second.
Maya, I'll ask Themis how he was able to get rid of the echoes in live. I know it has something to do with the settings, but I'm looking at my audio settings now, and I can do the echo. I can do the echo cancellation in there. Maybe it will. Let me see if I remove her and put her back up. Can she go?
I can't hear you at all. I don't hear the echo. I don't hear you at all. I can just hear myself in the room. I don't know what it's doing, but people keep calling my phone. That was a news reporter calling my phone, and it keeps knocking me out. Are you able to hear me? Ugh. All right, I'll try to go out and come back in one more time. But and if it lets me back in or doesn't let me back in or doesn't work, I do appreciate it. And I'd love to be able to talk to you, have you on my channel, come back on your channel again. It was a pleasure. Thank you so much for taking the time. And to all of your subscribers, I appreciate being here. Thank you so much, guys.
We can schedule it.
Let me see one more time if I can pop out and come back in.
Yeah, because then we'll have to schedule it if we're gonna have to schedule it anyway, because I want to have the discussion with her. So we're gonna schedule it anyway, because I want to continue the discussion with her, and I don't have time. Even if I gave it another half hour, I still wouldn't have time. But so we have to. Yeah, if Diddy would have been under the jail. Yeah, starred above the Emerald Forest. Let me go to the YouTube thing. Yeah, because I'm about to jump off of here. I didn't mean to be on here because if I stay on here for long hours like last time, like I'm trying to avoid having to take a break again, because you get a sense of overwhelming burnout for doing it too much. I'm trying to find you. Will you type something into the comment, Star the Emerald Forest? Because I'm still trying to find you. Will you type something in there again? You can just type hi, and so I can just anything so I can mod you, because I have to see you to mod you. Because I want to get into this blackmail protection as well. Let me go back to the thing and see if she came back. Yeah, she hasn't come back yet. All I know is there's no way that the system is doing the same thing to the black community, but the black community is not a monolith. I think the community is absolutely a monolith. I don't know why we keep saying we're not a monolith. I don't get it. We are a monolith. Why do we keep saying that we're not? I feel like black people want to be so different and stand out while also being enmeshed in the system. Like we need to figure out what do we want to do? Do we want to be different? Yeah, I gotta go. And like, yeah, I have to go. So we're gonna have to just do it at a different time because I have to go. If I don't, I'm about to be late. So I gotta go. Yeah, it do. It's because it sounds good to say we're not a monolith, even though we are. But I have to go. I actually do got to go somewhere. That's what I was saying. Even if I try to stay as long as I can, which is now, we don't have enough time to go over it or to fix the issues. I'll look her up and email her. I'll email her. And yeah, we'll have a discussion because I want to have more of this discussion with her for sure. So I'm gonna jump off of here. I'm gonna go take care of what I got to take care of while I'm driving. I'm about to be listening to Themis, and I'll see y'all later. Bye.